Shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. Right, so what you see on the screen is this false prophet, this fraudster, and I'm going to play the video to basically, show you what's really going on.
Why would you claim to be mad? Why would you do that?
When I saw that you actually...
Please leave. I want you to leave now.
If you want me to leave, I'm
Yeah,
going to leave.
yeah, I need you to leave.
It's like, one sec. Let me play that again.
You almost killed me the night you got arrested. You almost killed me, and it's the truth. It's the truth. You almost killed me, and now you call my daughter a liar. You almost killed me, and you beat me. Yes, I'm recording it. It's not live. It's not live, but I'm recording it. Didn't you beat me in Siham? At least say you're sorry for beating me. Why would you pretend to be mad? You were testing me. Look at how you're smiling. Look at you. Why would you pretend to be mad? Why would you do that?
When I saw that you actually...
Please leave.
Right.
I want you to...
So the wife basically exposed them and says, why would you pretend to be mad? So that whole thing that he was doing in the bush and putting marks on his face and, kingdom of Kubala, whatever you want to call it, his wife just said, why would you pretend to be mad? Right? And that's why, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, those that have the spirit of discernment will be able to see through these pretenders, these liars, these deceivers that are trying their best to tarnish the truth. You see? And for those of you that don't know what's going on, basically, I've done a lot of research. So basically, there's this man called Kofi Ofe, which is a Ghanaian, and he's decided to live in the woods of Jedburgh, Scotland. And he basically set up this mythical, newsensical kingdom called the Kingdom of Kubala, which he says Kubala means Jacob, but it doesn't actually mean Jacob. It goes back into deep witchcraft, esoteric theology. But I'm going to go into that in a second. But he proclaims himself to be a Messiah, which is not that. He pretends. And I'm going to read Matthew chapter 24, reading verse 24. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophet, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right? So this guy coming across, making himself seem as if he's a Messiah, a prophet, chosen. This guy's nothing but an actor. The wife just clearly said he's pretending, and I'm going to show you. And basically, the prophets of old, the prophets in the scriptures, never used to draw things on their faces. The Maccabees brothers, you did have a history of them putting ashes on their heads and wearing sackcloth, renting their garments, meaning ripping their clothes. But they weren't looking like native West African witch doctors, rolling their eyes.
See, Kubala, in Israel.
You really do have to see it to believe it. Led by a self-proclaimed king and queen, they call this the Kingdom of Kubala.
It's a sham, isn't it?
Prophecy by an ignorant...
Kofi Ofe and Jean Gasho.
So we are very special.
You're on land that doesn't belong to you. Why are you so special?
It was stolen from us, though, by our ancestors.
Says who?
Says gods.
I have claimed you and bought you at a price.
And these guys, like I said, they're deceptive, right? Because first of all, they say the land has been given. Well, this is Esau's time to rule. This is Esau's land in terms of the Most High has given him this land to hold for a period of time, right? Because when you read the book of Esdras, let me get it real quick. This is a very basic precept. Second Esdras, chapter 6, reading at verse 9, it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So Esau's world will come to an end. So right now, this is his world. So when you're saying, it's our land and all this stuff, no, it's not. It's Esau's land as of now. When Yahweh Shai returns, that's when things are going to be set in order. That's when we're going to inherit the things that we're meant to inherit. Well, this is all an act. This is all a pretense. These are actors being used to demonize the gospel, demonize the truth. It's all a pretense. Like his wife said, "Why would you act crazy? You almost got us killed," because they got arrested because they were given a notice from the government to leave that land, right? And they refused. And what does the Bible say? It talks about agreeing with your adversary quickly. So a follower of Yahweh Shai would listen to the instructions of what Yahweh Shai says, right? Agree with thy adversary quickly. Sorry, my keyboard is a bit. One sec. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. "Agree with thy adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him." So whilst Esau is in the way, agree with him. Now this is talking about in context of understanding, because yes, there is wisdom, but you need wisdom with understanding. So when it says agree with that adversary quickly, it means if you can find ways to avoid having issues with Esau and the other nations, do so, right? But that's why scripture also says with wisdom get understanding. Now, in terms of the chip, we don't agree with the chip, but in terms of avoiding and preventing drama, absolutely we avoid that. Lest at any time the adversary delivered thee to the judge, and that's what happened. And the judge delivered thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison, right? "Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost for a thing." So it's so important that we agree with our adversary quickly and we avoid having issues and problems, because if we do not stay in the spirit of avoiding issues, it's just going to cause unnecessary drama. You understand? So this is one massive facade. And when I went into the word Kubala, it went deeply into left hand vibrational energies, because they say the word Kubala means Jacob, but those of you that understand the Hebrew, we know that the word Jacob is Yah, Kwa, and then Ba. Yah, Kwa, Ba. That is the true name of Jacob, not Kubala. No, that's incorrect. For those that speak the the Hebrew will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Um, so we're gonna go into Wikipedia and get information on that. So I actually typed it in on Google. Um, Now when you go to Wikipedia, which it says Kubala, it says reception tradition is an esoteric method, discipline, and school of thought in Jewish mysticism. And mysticism is basically like some form of like it has to do with like Ashkenazi Hadim and basically received tradition, a term which is probably Judaic context in medieval Kabbalists adopting the form of their own doctrine in order to express beliefs that were not innovating but merely revealing the ancient historic tradition of the Torah. Right. And they do talk about the Middle Ages and different things. But if you go back into here, which is actually the meaning of what it actually says right here, it goes into see, mysticism, esoteric and spiritual practices aimed at understanding the divine and hidden aspects of existence. Right? So you can see how it says the root of Jewish mysticism can be traced back into the biblical era with prophetic figures such as Elijah and Ezekiel. Right. But then you have to understand the context of what it actually means. I think it was somewhere. I need to find it. Hold up. Exactly. Here it is. The magical talismaniac tradition of practical Kabbalah. In often unpublished manuscripts, empowered to the alter both divine realm and world using practical methods. It says, while philosophical interpretation of worship sees its redemptive role as harmonizing heavenly forces, practical Kabbalah properly evolves white magical acts. You see, it says white magical acts. See? This is very, very demonic. It says magic, sometimes spelled magic, is the application of beliefs, ritual, or action employed in the belief that they can manipulate natural or supernatural beings and forces, meaning that people use demons, unclean spirits, to force their agenda. It is a category into which have been placed various beliefs and practices, sometimes considered separate from both religion and science. You can see right here, very, very dark. So they use white magic, right? White magic is being used. This has nothing to do with the prophets. Yes, the prophets used to live in John the Baptist, but John the Baptist, he only went to the bushes because they wanted to kill him, not because of he just wanted to live in the bush. There's always context in scriptures. There's always context in precepts. Very important to understand context of the scriptures, man.
Bought you at a price.
And there's this young woman reported missing from Dallas, Texas. She, they say, is the handmaiden.
If everything is not tidy, if everything is not where the queen...
Everything that she needed.
Support her daughter so they can be reunited. But now, She denied being coerced.
Other people's concerns don't really matter to me because these aren't
And coercive behavior.
I am the king of Kubala, and all nations belong to me. Everyone you see bows before me, for I am the chosen one by the gods.
And no one is going to bow before this Negro, because the scripture says how you're not meant to bow down. You're only meant to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So clear, this guy is clearly, bugged out. And you got Edomite out there, which, everyone just standing here is just bugged, man, including the journalist.
Have you coerced Cora
man.
into
So,
being here?
That's pretty much it, man. So it just shows me that these guys are just agents. And, if their so-called kingdom is standing, then why is it that his black ass got locked up? Well, he got put in, arrested by the Edomites. She too, this girl here, she got arrested too as well. And, they're not in the bush no more. You see, so
She was a teenager.
The creator of the heavens and the earth is bringing the chosen ones from all the four corners of the earth.
Did you groom her while she was in?
And all this all this madness that this guy's doing is really gonna make, people look at like Hebrew Israelites like a cult group and all these different things. But this guy is, he's just an actor, bro. Esau's using actors because he's desperate. It just doesn't make no sense. Logically speaking, it doesn't make no sense. And, it's just funny how all this is happening in the month of October, which October is the month where, Halloween is soon approaching and, they do all this witchcraft and all this shit. So, hey,
Her being here, yes or no?
When you address me as the Queen of the North, then I will answer you.
Are you
and say Queen of the North. Hey, boy, this is why it's so important to go into words. Let's hear it. Yeah, so this is the word queen right here, right? The word queen means a disreputable woman. It says a woman who engages in sexual acts and especially sexual intercourse in exchange for pay. A woman who is a sex worker. It says, see, one that is young or unmarried. Now, she's claiming to be married, right? So that she don't fit the category of this definition. And it's funny how this is the first definition right here, right? So when you call yourself a queen, you're basically calling yourself this definition right here, right? Which, that's why the scripture says to be silent, but hey, man, all this is just bug out shit, right? A prostitute, you see? Boy, oh boy. I need to get the etymology dictionary. Hold up. Queen, prostitute. Right there, you see? From the root word Gwen, compare queen, you see? A young, robust woman. See? So, yeah. Boy, oh boy. This is crazy.
Are you refusing to engage with the question that you coerced Cora into being here? A vulnerable teenager from the United States who ends up in Scottish woods.
When you address me as the Queen, then I will answer your question.
Stan Hughes has spoken to Cora's mother in Texas. She calls you a leech and a vulture. What do you say to that?
And really and truly, all this here, like I said before, this is all a setup. This was all an act. This was all pretense, like his wife said. See, I don't even need to talk much. This is all a pretense. The wife already said that this was all an act and he got us almost killed. You see what I'm saying? Because Jake likes to play around stupid games, thinking that he can get a bit of internet clout a bit of TikTok followers, and then you realize that it's getting serious now, and now all of a sudden, you're scared and thing. It's just one massive joke. But don't worry, the Most High is gonna deal with Jake, because you think it's funny mocking the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua that are really taking this ministry serious, you know. So I'm saying, and this is Sirach 23 verse 4. O Yahweh, Father and power of my life, give me not a proud look, but turn away from thy servants always a haughty mind. And you can see this guy, yeah, the way he looks, yeah. If you look at him, he looks proud. Yeah, and the Most High said, give me not a proud look. Just look in his eyes, how he's looking. He put his head up, his chest is moving up, his hands are high. He got a proud look. And the Most High is not dealing with those that have a proud look. If you're proud, Heavenly Father is not dealing with you. It's verse 5. Turn away from me, vain hopes. I said, Kingdom of Kubala. Oh yeah, Kingdom of Kubala, that's a vain hope. You're not Yahweh Shai. You're not going to reign. Right? Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to reign. And conscientiousness, and thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee. Let not the greediness of thy belly, nor lust of the flesh take hold of me, and give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind. You see? It says, hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips. Yeah? Meaning that if you listen to this information, you're not going to be put in trouble. Right? But guess what? It says, the sinner shall be left in his foolishness. Both the evil speaker and the proud shall fall thereby. And what do we see? We see them fall thereby. How have they fallen? Well, all I need to do is type in. So, like, all I need to do is type in their thing, and we can see right here that they've fallen. They have fallen. So this is the reason why, this is out. These are agents, but this is totally out of order. And that's why, if you're a true servant of Yahweh Shai, this is what Yahweh Shai commanded his men to do. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, reading verse 8. Therefore, wait you upon me, saith Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. So it says, wait ye upon me. So the Most High said, wait upon him until the day that I rise up to the prey, which is Esau, Edom, and the other nations. For my determination is to gather the nations, right? He's going to gather the nations, right? That I may assemble the kingdoms. Because remember, these are kingdoms on the earth. What did Daniel see? Partially iron, partially clay. So these are kingdoms. Moab, Ammon, all these different nations, these are their kingdoms. To pour upon them mine indignation. Because when you read Revelation 19, it speaks about Yahweh Shai, having many crowns, meaning that he's going to conquer many kingdoms. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. That's what Yahweh Shai, said, right? It says, oh yeah, verse 9, this is a beautiful point. For then will I turn to the people a pure language. It didn't say corrupt, some weird ass Hebrew. It said a pure language. The La Shawana Kwadasha, which is the pure language, right? The kingdom of what? Of Yahweh, which means Jacob. Not no Kubala. That's not how you spell Jacob. They're incorrect. That's not the pure language. That they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. So this is why it's so important that we pay attention to what's going on, right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, reading verse 11. lest Satan should get an advantage of us, right? So Satan is using, these nuisances to try to demonize the truth, right? They're not chosen by the Lord, man. The Lord, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is not dealing with them. For we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his schemes, of his plans, of his plots, right? We're not ignorant of these things. We're aware. We're focused, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out soon. 1 second. So yeah, so listen to this one more time. Hold up. Let me just increase the volume. All right.
Beat me. You almost killed me the night you got arrested. You almost killed me, and it's the truth. It's the truth. You almost killed me, and now you call my daughter a liar. You almost killed me, and you beat me. Yes, I'm recording it. It's not living. It's not live, but I'm recording it. Didn't you beat me in Siham? At least say you're sorry for beating me. Why would you pretend to be mad? You were testing me. Look at how you're smiling. Look at you. Why would you pretend to be mad? Why would you do that?
When I saw that you actually...
Please leave. I want you to leave now.
If you want me to leave,
Yeah,
going to leave.
yeah, I need you to leave.
And I thought he's against that level of music. So yeah, it's weird, man.
From the council land they set up camp on, sheriff officers served them with interdicts banning them from private land and council land across the area. The group previously told how they were reclaiming land that was stolen from their ancestors 400 years ago and refused to recognise the powers of the courts to evict them. We told earlier how Taylor was confirmed to be a waitress reported missing by her family in Texas, and her family previously expressed concerns that she was being brainwashed into staying with the Kubala tribe. This is the group's second eviction.
And by the way, these so-called white people, right, they say stuff like they care and all this shit. They're all liars, man. They don't care about so-called black people. Look what they did in the transatlantic slave trade, hanging and burning our people, and they care about her so-called vulnerability. It just shows, the hypocrisy of these Edomites, man. Even though I disagree with the nonsense that these guys are doing, these Edomites are the devil, because they say, oh, we're worried about her vulnerability and all these different things. But, what do you, race of people, did to so-called black people? Hang, give their babies to alligators, do all manner of wickedness to so-called blacks and Hispanics. Even, what's the name of that thing? Butt breaking, raping the men. That's what these so-called white people did to so-called blacks in slavery times. They're sickos.
In as many weeks after a previous order was met by them by moving 20 feet from private land to a council-owned plot where they were removed from today. At a full council meeting last week, local council...
It is the eviction of the Kubala tribe.
You see, they're sickos, man.
Well,
anyways, man, I ain't really got much to say. I don't even want to go too much on this shit. This shit is some bug out shit. Like, bro, like, this is, oh boy. Well, I guess, it's just crazy. But, oh boy. I don't even know. This is just, this is crazy, man. Baruch 3 verse 2. Hear, O Lord, and have mercy, for thou art merciful, and have pity on us, because we have sinned before thee. Man, may the Most High have mercy on us, man, because this is just some nonsense that's going on, man. I'm telling you, the true followers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we're really hoping for the mercy, man, because this is some nonsense. For thou endurest forever, and we perish utterly. Right? So, yeah, man, let's just hope that the Most High gets us out of this place, man, because this is Baruch 3 3 verse 8. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Right? So, you see, we're still in our captivity. We're still in captivity. So for those thinking they're not in captivity, delusional, I know I'm in captivity, right? Where thou hast scattered us, right? Because the Lord has scattered us in all different places for a reproach and a curse. Right? So right now we're being a reproach and a curse. And to be subject to payments. Right? We're being subject to payments. You know, electric bill, gas bill, paying for fruits and vegetables, things that are natural from the earth. We're subject to payments. Even, the land. Even though I don't believe that Scotland is the land of Israel, but you know, the whole earth was made for the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're subject to payments. We got to pay for transport, for all this, everything, when the land was given to us. I'm talking about the whole entire world was given to the 12 tribes of Israel. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. So it says, How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead? Because these nations are dead people. Dead. They don't serve the living God. They're dead, man. And we're in the land of our enemies. It says, verse 11, that thou art counted with them that go into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. For if thou hadst walked in the way of Yahweh, thou shouldest have dwelt in peace forever. See, if we listen to the Most High and His Son, we wouldn't be in this situation. But because of, pride and silly behavior, that's why we're in this circumstance. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days in life, where is the light of the eyes and peace. Who have found out her place? Who have come into her treasure? Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as ruled the beasts upon the earth? Right, so, yeah, man, it's getting serious, and, it's getting to that time where all hell is about to break loose. And like I said, these guys are just used as agents to make the hate come more, so that when brothers are on the street, they're like, oh yeah, Kingdom of Kubala, you man are the Kubala guys, right? And we don't believe in none of that shit. Because these Negroes that are so stupid that will take anything from Esau, a little bit of coins from Esau to ruin the image of the truth, they would do it. But anyways, with that, these devils have been exposed. So I'm gonna say, call Shalom.